white paper, how much do business signs cost in Los Angeles? So let's talk this through. And for this video, we're going to focus exclusively on outdoor signs. But this is a common question that people have, obviously, because this guides their entire sign project. All right, what's the real cost of a business sign in Los Angeles? When people think about a new sign, they often focus only on the fabrication cost. But in Los Angeles, the real cost comes from several layers that you'll want to be prepared for. So first and foremost, obviously, you've got that fabrication and installation cost. This is the fixed cost that you're probably picturing in your head as you get started. What does it cost to make it? What does it cost to install it? So this is the design, the materials, the labor to build it, and the labor to install it. Plain and simple. But on top of that, we've got permitting and city fees. So you're going to pay us or whatever company you work with to go pull permits because there's a time cost that goes with that. Not only do we need to now make a permit packet for the city where we detail every last aspect of that sign, including how it's attached to the wall, then we have to go sit at the city and submit this thing and speak with the city planner and speak with the city engineer and navigate this all through the city. This often requires multiple trips to the city to get it through. So it is a time suck, and you're paying for that. Then the city has certain fees that it charges. They charge to look at the drawings, so a plan check fee, and then the ultimate permit has its own fee. Plus, often, depending on where your building is located, there's other overlay districts and various checks that the city has to do. And what that means is more money that the city charges you. So I've seen these run anywhere from several hundred up into the thousands. And then once we're doing sign programs and all kinds of work in historic districts and things like that, don't blush if you see the city charging $5,000 to $10,000. That's money straight to the city. That's not money that goes into our pocket. So those are definitely worth exploring as you start on your project. Okay, what about design and engineering? So larger and illuminated signs need to be designed. Often the customer, you will come to us with your own design. Great. And we need to just translate that into a sign. But then the city says, wait a minute, is that sign going to be safe as installed, as designed? And so we actually need to send the design to an engineer. This is not part of the company. This is an actual structural engineer who would need to review this and create their own drawings that they stamp with their little engineering stamp that say, okay, it has to be built like this and installed like this. And if these are the rules that are followed, then it's safe. This tends to cost somewhere between a couple hundred and up to $1,000 to do. And again, this is just a time detour as well. So consider that you're not only costing money, but there's just the time that goes with this, that now an engineer's got to review this. There's landlord and property approvals. So your landlord may very well have sign guidelines that you need to follow. This is something you want to know from the get-go. Our most seasoned customers know this as they're negotiating their lease. Get the placement of your sign written into your lease. I get the sign at the top of the building, and it can be lit, and it can be this, and it can be that. That is probably your most effective thing to do while you still are negotiating. Once you've negotiated, and many buildings have sign guidelines in place that you have to follow. Where on the building your sign can go, what size your sign should be, what materials we can use, and even, if you can have a logo or not. All of that is guided by your landlord, property manager, and then sometimes the city once we get to that level. So these are things that could change your design and alter the cost. What are some hidden or overlooked costs? So these are the ones that often surprise business owners. That old sign that's there from the previous tenant, that needs to be removed and thrown away. And the wall needs to be repaired. Often at nicer buildings, the previous tenant is required to do that, or the landlord or property manager will have already taken care of it. But if you've got a sign up there on the wall, rest assured, at some point in time, you will be charged to have that sign removed and have the wall repaired. Electrical work, such as wiring, circuits, and timers. So sometimes a sign has been left for so long that the wiring running to it no longer works. Sometimes wherever there's been signs on that building, they were never lit and wiring needs to be run to it. Add on to that the city requires that each sign is installed to a timer and on the electrical panel with a dedicated circuit. All of these things are additional cost to a project. Typically, you'll be now pulling in an electrician. You can pull in your own if you're doing your own construction, or we can bring one in, but these are elements that tend to add to the cost. And then structural modifications. Sometimes the wall won't support your type of sign, and you'll need to decide, oh, do I want to change the wall or do I want to change the sign? And then if there's some sort of quirk, such as we can't access the sign without a giant crane, totally fine. Or we can only descend from below and we need to bring a swing stage in, totally fine. But these are additional costs that do get added to a job. And then consider that there are ongoing costs that over time will come up. One, you just have that added electrical bill. It's not going to be much because these signs should be LED if they're lit. In rare cases, we still do neon, but you'll have to pay, your own electrical bill that goes on too. And then over time, you'll want these signs cleaned or repaired. Just like anything that you leave outside for years at a time, it needs to be touched and pampered from time to time. So the bottom line, the real cost for your sign isn't just the number on the quote that we give you or that your other vendors give you. It's the full package: permitting, approvals, site work. A good sign partner should explain all of this up front. So we do our best to let you know everything that we can foresee as we start a project. It's possible that there's still things that come up, as with all construction, that no one could account for and will add cost. But it's worth noting that you will see a difference in how certain companies propose their projects versus how others do. Others want to get you at that low cost where they're just going to tell you the one price for the fabrication and installation, and then along the way, keep that meter running and keep telling you here, oh, new cost. Oh, here's another new cost.